lot of you are poor, a lot of you are broke, a lot of you are struggling to get by with your 9 to 5. Living by paycheck to paycheck, not knowing how to actually get by these days. You've guys got to realize there's another way out than just waiting for that weekly paycheck to come in. This is where we start with an online business. And this is how you can completely change your life in your 20s from literally being dead broke, in debt, whatever your current situation is. You've got to realize there's always another way out. There is always another way to get rich. There is always another methodology. There is always another path. But you've got to be choosing the right path. This is why people hire coaches, mentors, people who've had more experience in the game, so then they can then teach them their valuable lessons. Like, I wouldn't be in the position today that I am in unless I haven't read, like, I've literally probably spent $15,000, $20,000 on books and probably spent around about the same amount, if not greater, on mentors. I'd say probably a bit more. But this can actually show you how to create fuck you money in your 20s. Because once you actually start to build up your foundation correctly, you can then actually show people how you can do this. You can show people how you can actually achieve the life that you want to be. Because most people who don't actually know what they're doing and don't know how to create fuck you money in their 20s don't have literally any coaches, any mentors, none of this sort of stuff. Majority of the people give up because it gets way too difficult, way too hard. Because business is like a constant battle. Do you seriously want to be sitting out there in the middle of the war, not knowing how to throw a spear? I will teach you how to throw the spear. But the thing is, knowing the way that you guys will throw the spear, you guys will end up throwing yourself the spear in the foot. Think of it like this. Back in ancient war times, we've been fighting with each other. We've been fighting over women, money, or just to be like the person who owns everything. That's what we have been doing since the beginning of time. This hasn't changed from anywhere else in time. It's been decades after decades after decades. We have been fighting over the exact same three things. And you do not realize that every single successful person, every single person who has been able to make fuck you money in their 20s has spent hundreds, thousands, even some of them spent millions of dollars on mentors and coaching. This is where I can help you. I can bring you down that ladder. I can bring you down the ladder to get you that dream life that you want. I can get you that ladder so then you can actually build the skills of what you want. I will be your coach. So you know how every great person in history, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, even like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, they've all had a coach. This is where I can coach you because I've done this previously. I've already understand the basic framework so then you can get your head start. Do you seriously want to be sitting there wasting tens of thousands of hours picking up the phone, getting told to F off, fuck off, I never want to speak to you, wrong number, why are you calling this number, and all this other stuff? Do you want to be creating content that doesn't get you nowhere near where you want to be? You've got to have strategy. You've got to understand that most of you people give up because it gets too hard. You need someone in your corner who helps you, who understands you. This can help you create fuck you money in your 20s. Also, the most important thing is all of these people had a business model, whether it was their body or their brain, whether they're a pro athlete or whether they're someone like me, Iman Ghazi, or even like my coaches, because I've spent, as I said, I've spent a hell of a lot in coaching, whether from the dark arts or all the way up to actually the lights of Bob Proctor. And I'm going to end up being coached by Jason again. And also I'm going to be coached by another one of Bob Proctor's lineage, like someone else who actually Bob Proctor mentored. You've got to realize I've got access to the dark arts as well as the light. I can teach you the importance of understanding the balance between the two because you know yin and yang. Once you have access to the light, you have access to the dark. But you've got to put them in a way that actually has a balance so then you can be more credible in what you craft, how you craft your message, and how you type it. Also, the videos that you do for your clients, because if you think about it, marketing is basically giving value or selling a story, making people buy into that story, and then making them wanting to buy with basically me getting access to the dark arts, the light. Because I'm not willing to back down from the harsh truth. I've been there. I've been in the place that you've been. I've been defeated. I've had times where I don't know where my next paycheck came from. I've literally been scammed like fucking 70 grand. And I just still keep on swinging. I keep on swinging and I keep on swinging. And I can even, but it doesn't tell, honestly, what does this tell you? I am not willing to give up. I have turned me not knowing where my next paycheck came from. I have used that and turned that into me consistently fighting, me using what I learned from the marketing and sales side of me losing so much and then turned it into an art of marketing to get people to want to buy, to get people in, and to make people follow a movement. You've got to realize, yes, I've been very logical, like all throughout my previous videos, but that was strategical. You've got to understand, once you create those strategical videos and then you lather in the emotion, you lather in the stories, this will get people to nurture and get people to buy because they have to follow a buying sequence. This is from the stuff that I've learned. This is also from me being helped by my coach, because it's like I understand paid content, I understand copy, I understand like all of that sort of stuff, copy, ads, and how to get people's attention. But I understood organic content to an extent when it comes to like Instagram Reels, but I never actually understood how to do YouTube, because YouTube is completely different to paid YouTube. YouTube is completely different ballgame. It's not short form content. It's not like you dealing with ads. It's not like you trying to create a script to get people along the buyer's journey, depending on how lengthy the sales cycle is and how they can get from point A to point B. You've got to understand, every single successful person had a mentor or a coach who they have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on. They have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on. I even paid for another sales coach because I wanted to get better at sales. I wanted to get better to make your experience better for you people to be involved. I want to build relationships with you guys so then I can then help you get to where you want to be. I want to make you guys not be stuck in a 9 to 5, wondering where your next paycheck is coming from. Or you could be fired. What? Because you had a miscommunication, or because they thought you were being lazy, but instead you were trying to escape the rat race and grinding your ass off with a business model that was not sustainable. And when it comes to marketing, marketing is not easy by any stretch of the imagination. That's why I'm here to help you understand the skills that you need. So this is why I can show you how to create fuck you money in your 20s. And this is how you can create fuck you money in your 20s. Because once you have a high paying skill, once you have a skill that pays you a shitload, like bro, there's literally fucking clients that are happy to pay 30 grand a month for marketing. Imagine if you only got 15% of that, but that's only from one client. Imagine if you had multiple of them. Let's just say round about knowing your margins, it'd be what? Your margins would honestly be, let's just say you keep about 20, 25 grand a month. So imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine if you were able to do that. Imagine if all you needed to do was invest in yourself today and then move yourself forward. Imagine if all you need to do was just take the hard step and figure out what is the right business model for you. I don't care if you go to fucking Charlie Morgan. I don't care if you go to some other guy to learn marketing. But as long as you take the first step, as long as you start bringing yourself to make that dream life, so then you can start to create fuck you money in your 20s. Because the more and more you realize within business, the richer and the more wealthier you get better connections, and then you can start making your sales. Because literally, all life is a game of network marketing. All life is a game of sales and marketing. Because you've got to represent yourself to a crowd of people who don't understand you. You've got to represent yourself to a group of people who might be the highest paying customers, who may change your life. But if you do it poorly, you will get nowhere. You'll get you'll be kicked off the can. You'll be kicked, that tin can that gets continually kicked from the gutter that doesn't lead anywhere. That is where you'll represent. That is where you'll end up. And you've also got to realize, you've got to understand, you've got to get the right mindset before you do that. Because a lot of you people are stuck there living in fear. You are stuck there living in fear that you guys don't know what's going to happen. That's when I said about you don't know when your next paycheck is going to come or when your boss is going to fire you. That is you guys consistently living in fear. You don't understand when your next paycheck is coming from. You don't know whether the taxman's going to be after you, your boss is going to be after you, what your wife is going to be after you. You don't know if your kids want more and more attention from you. There's always going to be someone after you. You don't know who, you don't know what. But we've got to work on reframing that, controlling the way that you perceive the world, because the way you perceive the world is everything. So once you learn how to change your mindset, understand that the way you see the world is very different to what every successful person has ever done. Because once you end up changing that mindset, this will end up getting money to start printing. But you need to learn how to do it right. You need to learn how to do it right. That's the thing. You people don't understand that.